Cheryl from the Gilded Daisy. Hi, is there anybody out here? I thought I'd wait for a few minutes, or maybe only a minute, until, sorry, I'm going to bend down here, until we get started so I can show you how to frame the sheep. This is how I frame it anyways. I'm hiding out in my parents' basement with all the spiders, and just tried to set up down here a bit today so I could show you what I was going to do. It's very windy and wet outside, and my good table saw's outside, and I just don't want to be out there, so I'm in the basement with a million little lights around trying to do the best I can. But I'll wait a few more minutes, see if anybody's around. And again, this little video is on how to frame your sheep, or part of it anyways. I won't actually put it together today because it would just be so noisy and dusty, but I can share with you in just a minute. If there's anybody around, I'll get started in just a second. I'll just go keep getting set up a bit. Back in a minute. I just noticed the time, so I better get going. My daughter's going to be home pretty soon. Anyways, what I use to frame the sheep is old wood. And sometimes, sorry, I'll crouch down. I'm bending over here. What I use is old lumber. And I've already cut my pieces up, and I hope everything doesn't fall apart on me. And let me know if anybody's around, but I hope everything doesn't come crashing down because I kind of got it all jerry-rigged together. But I use old lumber. Can you see that piece in there? I actually cut that one up. It's 1.5 inches thick. And when you're framing your 3/4 inch plywood, I like to use the 1.5 inches. I don't know if you can see the thickness on there, but there it is there. That's 1.5 inches there, and that's what I like to use. I cut them into strips. I did that already. You can see them all here. I've cut all these strips up because I'm going to need 4 of them. And there they all cut up. They're all cut up from an old piece of lumber. What I want to do first is actually cut them to fit this way so that I cap them on top. We're just going to do a butt joint, nothing else exciting. There is no rabbiting it out so the wood fits in. It does really well because it's 3/4 inch plywood. And let me just show you here. So the first one I'll cut would be the one straight across here. And that is, if you can see there, 24 inches. So I will cut 2 of these pieces down here to 24 inches. I wish I had a longer extension cord. I'd cut them right now. But these will get cut down to 24 inches. And then I screw them on top and on the bottom. And I pre-drill my holes in here. I don't know if you guys know what pre-drilling is. I think I've got a tutorial on my site on pre-drilling. But you basically just pre-drill these little holes so you don't split this wood. This wood's super old and it was hard to cut. So you want to pre-drill first. So basically, 1.5 inches for those of you joining now. It's 1.5 inches thickness of the wood. And I did this part at 1.25 inches, and I'll show you that on the table saw. So my wood thickness is 1.5 inches, and my actual cut is going to be 1.25 inches. And if you can see that, that looks really nice. And why I go with the 1.5 inches is I want a bit of a reveal in here and around the back. So this piece of wood being 1.5 inches thick on 3/4 leaves me 1/2 inch left over, and I can leave a thicker, a bit of a lip on this side and a bit on the back, so that when you go to put the screws in, for when you want to hang it, it's not out against the wall. The screws are tucked in behind the lip of this. I hope I'm making sense. Who's on here? Oh, hi Sheila. Hello. So I just cut them like that. I know I'm just trying to figure out how I can show you how I'm doing all of this, so I just keep thinking for a second. So these ones first at the top here, they get attached. The one at the bottom gets attached, and I'll probably try and do a video of that not live because the dust and the noise and the moving around. I already dropped my iPad today like a little while ago. Everything crashed down on me and I cracked it. So hopefully you guys aren't seeing a cracked screen. I don't think so. So once I've cut those pieces up here like that, then I can measure from this side down. And we kind of know if it's 1.25 inches, 1.25 inches. What's that? You're going to get 2.5. It's 1.25 inches, 1.25 inches, 2.5. It should be. And this here is at exactly 30 inches, and I didn't do that on purpose. So my other pieces are just going to be the 30 inches plus the 2.5. So I'm going to cut the other boards at 32.5, I'm sure. So that's all there is to it, and they're just butted up together. Now I stained this board before. I mean, this is beautiful old lumber. I don't know if you can see it. Look at all that. Look at all that character in there. All the nail holes. I love this stuff. Let me just show you one more thing. I did stain it with that tubes of oil paint that I was showing you before. So I stained it just so I could show you what it was kind of looking like. If you don't have access to the old barn wood, it's getting hard to get. I mean, here in Canada, it's getting harder anyways, where I am, and it's getting expensive. You can really bang up. This piece is from just a little chunk here. It's from Home Depot. 1.5 inches. Let me just double check that measurement on here, so I'm not lying. Yeah, it's 1.5 inches. So this piece, you know, Home Depot, they call them 2x4s, 2x8s, 2x10s, but they're not really 2x10. They're 1/2 inch off. That's when it's green before it's dried and processed and planed down. So this thickness here is 1.5 inches, and that works the best on these 3/4 inch birch plywood pieces. So 1.5 inches thickness is what you want. So if you go to Home Depot, say, you know, they can cut, they would even be able to cut it for you, but you want, say, a 2x8 or a 2x6. Would that work? I'd go for a 2x8 would frame out this sheep. So again, 1.5 inches thick, but ask for a 2x8. So if you don't have this cool lumber, you can use this. Hey Sue, how are you? You should be down here today. But you can use this. Just bang it up and make it look old. And I really like bang it up well. So I'm going to just show you another little trick here. I kind of showed you on here what lumber to use. So it's 1.5 inches thick, but what I'm going to do is cut it on the table saw at 1.25 inches. Now I'm going to try and take my iPad over to the table saw. Now don't look at it because there's no guard on it. I'm not actually going to cut because it will just cause dust everywhere, but I'll do a little cut. But let me see if I can move this over, because I want to show you a couple tricks on that. Okay, let's hope this works. And I don't crash everything down here, because I want to show you a few things on here. Not too bad. We're getting there. How about we try one more even closer? Okay, hold on you guys. You just got to wait a minute. Sorry, it's only me. So let me show you something here. Just going to stand this guy up. Move all this out of the way. Just really want to crash down. Everything's okay. Just want to be able to show you something here. When you're cutting your plywood, your wood, see this little line here that I marked? That's at 1.25 inches. So if you, okay, let's just back up a bit here. If you go to Home Depot because you don't have a table saw or a skill saw to cut this, tell them you want 1.25 inches cuts. All this board into 1.25 inches. And they'll do it for you. I think it's 50 cents a cut. I think most of the lumber yards will do that. But this one here, that's your little line. You want to make sure you cut on the right side of this line on your table saw because it does make a difference. I'm just going to show you really close here. Hold on. I know this is probably a bad time to be doing a live video, but it's the only time I've got. It's too dark in the basement here. But I'm going to really show you up close. So there's my line. I'm going to actually have to take you off the iPad to show you something here. So don't mind me for a minute. I can get this thing off without screwing something up there. Okay, I want to show you something. I don't know how far down I can see this. I don't know if this is going to work, but I'm going to try anyways. Sorry. Whoopsie. That's it, Cheryl. Over the camera. This isn't working too good, but at least I can show you. I'm just trying to show you this line on this. There we go. You want to be cutting on the right side of the line. Let me try coming from this way. There you go. You want to cut on this side of the line. There we go. Now I can't really do this, but you can see how it's lined up there. I pull it around this way without getting you guys too seasick. There. Maybe that's there. But what I'm trying to point out is you want to cut on the outside of that line. This is not working the best, but you want to cut out on that outside part of the line. so that you get the proper cut. Because if you don't, I mean, this is all set up and you will, that's the little trick. You'll be 1/8 of an inch out everywhere. Now, let me just go back and put this back on here again. Sorry, that wasn't a great example, but I'll do a little tutorial up on that one. And back to my sheep again. Doing things by yourself. Back to the sheep here and just try and show you this once more. So let's just backtrack a bit for those of you that are coming in later. Again, one last time. You want 1.5 inch thick wood. Whether it's old lumber or the new lumber from Home Depot. You want to ask them or yourself to do it. You want to go about 1.25 inches thick. If you want a thicker one, you can. There's no issue there. You can make it thicker. But see how nice that looks? Hey, there's not a bad shot. See how this white part here, when I put it up there, that looks good on this side. But on the back, I mean, you still have to stain this. On the back, it leaves some edge too, so that your screws work out better and they're not making the picture frame stick out from the wall. So here's all my pieces here. You know, here they all are here. I've got them all cut and ready to go for later. I'm going to stain them all up. And I'll try and do a little video of actually putting this together. That's probably not live because you won't be able to hear a word I'm saying if I'm running the table saw. And when you are cutting, a little trick to those of you that have missed this, you have that line. You want to be cutting. You want to know which side. If this is 1.25 inches here, well, you want to make sure that you are cutting on this side here. So you get it. So it's not screwing up when you're your rags for all of this stuff. Make sure that you get rid of them outside thinners. Put your rags outside or put them in a metal tin. You have to do something so to make it better. But I just wanted to show you that, and I'm going to let you go. And it's kind of an odd little video, but I'll put it together tomorrow on how you actually put the rest of this together. And thank you guys so much for watching. Okay, I'm going to let you go now. I hear Nevaeh coming home. Bye. Bye.